Welcome back, everybody. Miles, still in the laundry room. Scott Parazynski, astronaut, mountaineer, soon-to-be summiteer, there at Everest Base Camp. Looks like another beautiful day there, Scott. How are things going?
It's a gorgeous day. It's about 45 degrees here. We're in light clothing. Myself and Rajan, one of my climbing partners, we're going to go for a hike up to about 19,000 feet here, just for a little fun to stretch our legs later this morning. But we're still waiting on the weather window that we talked about yesterday. We have a team of Sherpas fixing the route, hopefully up to the south summit of the mountain, maybe even to the summit today. So very exciting times. It looks like the weather forecasts may move our summit bid back a day, just based on the predictions. The mathematical models show the jet stream hunkering by Everest a little bit longer than we'd like, but that's okay. We'll be ready when the mountain is ready for us.
Okay, so boy, you've got to have a lot of sophisticated weather modeling and forecasting, don't you?
Well, we don't have it right here. We have our eyeballs, which are pretty useful, and then I have a little Kestrel unit here, which you can see it's about 45 degrees or thereabouts, and we can assess the wind speed and direction and a few other things. But what you really need to do getting ready for an Everest bid is look at the region. Everest is a huge mountain, and there are other huge mountains in this area, so they create their own weather. And so there are very specialized models that can help us predict what the jet stream is going to do and what cloud cover and temperatures will do. And we try and pick the best among those. So right now it looks like perhaps May 12th through 16th could be our window.
12th through 16th, backed up just a little bit. All right, that's good to know. Gosh, I once read that the vehicle assembly building in Florida has its own weather inside. Is that true?
It is, actually, because it's an enclosed environment. There are temperature gradients between sections and between the altitude. So, there are humid areas and dry areas, and you can actually get rain, I believe, or at least mist in that building. It's enormous.
Actually, I think those are droppings from the turkey buzzards.
There are birds and other creatures, I'm sure, that
indeed,
can
yes,
affect things.
You know what they call that in the space business? They call that FOD, as in foreign object detection. All right, let's. You kind of left us with a real cliffhanger. I could barely sleep last night thinking about what could that device be, and it's not a prosthetic. Tell me what it is.
Okay, well, the tip of this is International Space Station EVA hook. And so I've used hundreds of these out on spacewalks and in training, and it's a neat device. It's a locking hook, so I can put it around the handrail and lock it, and I know that I won't drift away. So that's very important when you're out working on a spacewalk. Of course, you never want to float away from your spaceship. But it's equally important when you're crossing ladders or ascending or descending Mount Everest. So with some friends at NASA, I modified one of these hooks. It's one of the hooks that we would use in our neutral buoyancy facility, the big pool that we practice our spacewalks in. So it's not this hook would never go back into space. But I put some webbing on it, and I plan to use it going up the ice fall. It's a little bit easier than a typical carabiner, because when you're wearing a big bulky glove, twisting a gate and opening it and putting it around a rope that protects you on a ladder, for example, that's a multi-step process. With this hook, I can very easily, even wearing a big bulky mitt, get it around a rope. So we're going to test it out, and there may be some applicability, a spin-off, if you will, the space program back to mountaineering. And so we'll see how it fares.
So first there was Tang, and then Velcro, and now this.
There you go.
Oh, wait a minute.
Exactly.
I forgot about space food sticks, too. Remember those? That was one of my all-time.
And the ice cream.
Oh, of course, the ice cream, which was actually flew on Skylab. So, okay, so we'll just assume that little hook just sort of fell off a shuttle, and that's why you have it. And you're the envy of all the climbers because nobody else has any space gear, even if it's just for training. So, you know, I guess you could say you're being a little bit of a show-off, right?
Actually, I've kept this very stealth, and I haven't used it on the ice wall yet. This is my third and final trip, and you know, it's just a little fun experiment to see how it works, and you know, there might be some commercial applicability down the road, so we'll see.
All right.
Might be a nice little spin-off for NASA.
You're starting to think like a post NASA astronaut. You're thinking of business opportunities there. All right. Well, listen, that's good stuff. We're glad that the summit is still there. I guess the window could go all the way till when? When would it become too late to summit? In June?
The end of May is about when the window will close. What closes it actually is the monsoon. So the rainy season in this region, and so once the rains come in the lowlands, that means heavy snows up here and impassable routes up on the mountain. So it varies from year to year. This is actually very early to try and summit Mount Everest, but we've had good fortune with the weather so far, fixing the route. So we're hoping to get off a summit bid here early in the month, but it's possible that that very last week of May could be the ticket.
You never know.
Climbers.
All right. So hey, listen. Let me ask you this: has there ever been a year where people have sat there and waited, and the weather just never got good enough to go up to this top?
Well, I have heard of seasons where only the most patient of climbers did summit, and it was like the 29th and 30th of May when people did ultimately succeed. So that, you know, this is it's a game of endurance, not only physical, but you know, being able to mentally endure the some of the boredom actually of waiting for that weather window. So, for example, Ray Jean and I are heading up on a little hike today just to exercise our legs and lungs and keep active. We have to do a bunch more of that in the weeks ahead. We'll see. Man
versus mountain. Well, somehow I think the mountain really in the long run always wins. But in the short term, Scott, I do hope you win this battle anyhow. Scott Parazynski at Everest Base Camp with some fancy gear and a lot of patience and some good friends who'll go hiking with him in the snow just to stay from keeping bored. Thanks for being with us. We'll check in with you again tomorrow. And I'm Miles in the laundry room. Over and out.
Miles.
Over and out for now. You're welcome, pal. We'll talk to you in a bit.